Hello, everybody. It seems like it's been a long time since I've been able to make a YouTube video, but recently I've been going through a lot of stuff, so it's been hard for me to get in here and make a video. I've been struggling to find a job, and also I've been taking classes. So with school and looking for work, it's been hard for me to finally sit down and get all my footage together and edit, but I still have been recording footage and still staying consistent with my PC building and selling. So in this video, I'll just have a quick update of everything I've been doing with my PCs and kind of show you guys the progress that I've been having. I have made some sales recently, and I've also built some new computers as well, but there's still also some computers I built a while ago that I still have not been able to sell. So first, let me tell you guys about a computer that I've been trying to sell, but for some reason I can just not get it sold. I mentioned it in another video before, but that RTX 5050 PC that I built, I still haven't been able to sell it. And I've had someone recently who seemed very committed to picking it up. And I even offered them a really good discount if they came and picked up the PC. But the day they were supposed to pick it up, they said they were gonna contact me later in the day. And then they just never responded to me and they never showed up. And then I had someone on eBay purchase that PC. So after getting it all boxed up and ready to go, the following day, the person messaged me and said that their son accidentally bought the PC and that they wanted to cancel the order. So that was a really difficult situation because then I had to take the PC and get it unpacked and everything. And then on top of it, eBay was going to try to charge me like $100 to cancel the order. So then after trying to figure that situation out, luckily I was only charged $20 to cancel that order. But then after that whole entire headache, I realized that eBay is just not a good place to sell PCs because the fees are way too much. And when people cancel the orders like that, it makes it seem like it's not really worth it, because if I have people canceling orders often, then I could end up having $100 in debt of just canceled orders if people keep canceling them, and I get charged $20 every time they cancel. So I decided to take all of my PCs off of eBay, and I no longer am going to use that platform to sell computers. I'm still going to sell my PCs on Java since I've never had any issues with them, and they seem like a more reasonable platform, especially with their fees. And I'm still going to sell my computers on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. But since I lost my business on eBay, I decided to make an Instagram to show the builds that I'm working on. And maybe by posting videos of me working on my PCs on there, I can reach a wider audience and maybe find some more customers. But yeah, as of recording this, I still have not sold that RTX 5050 PC. So that one's been a real headache, and that computer only cost me roughly, I think, $640 to build back when I built it almost 3 months ago now. And after looking at the PC part picker list of that PC, I think it costs almost $900 to build today. But I think just the combination of parts, a lot of people just don't really want that PC because of the older Ryzen processor and then the fact that it has an RTX 5050, which a lot of people hate on that graphics card. But it still is a more than capable PC, I believe. So hopefully someone will buy that one soon. Also, something I forgot to mention is in my last video, I said I was going to purchase an i5-12400F for that one PC I was working on. So I did end up getting that CPU and I installed it into that PC. And that ended up being a much better pairing for that computer. Using the 12400F with the RTX 2070 Super, I saw less of a bottleneck and the performance I feel like was a lot better. And that was one of the PCs that I ended up selling recently. I originally had it listed for a really high price of like $800 and something dollars. But with all the PCs that I had been sitting on for months, I decided to lower all of my prices. And after negotiating with a couple, I ended up selling that PC to them for $700. So I still made a small profit, but really I just wanted to start getting my inventory sold so that I had more money to work with so I could build other PCs. So as of recording, I have 4 PCs right now that I'm still waiting to sell, and those are listed on Java, Facebook Marketplace, and OfferUp. My plan recently is to get those 4 PCs sold, and then that'll give me enough money to source the parts for another build that I want to work on. It's going to be an all-white build, and I'm going to use my old white PC case from my personal rig. Recently, I had upgraded my motherboard to an X870E motherboard. That's an ATX motherboard, so I ended up getting an ATX case, and I went with an all-black aesthetic because I was tired of all the RGB lights and the white aesthetic. So using my old case and the white motherboard and white AIO, that'll be a good starting base for a higher end PC that I want to work on. Now, another PC that I wanted to talk about is one that I built recently. This PC was using one of those X99 CPU and motherboard combos that you can get from AliExpress. This is my first time using one of these combos, and I've seen other YouTubers use these combos to make a very cheap budget build. The combo that I purchased came with an Intel Xeon E5 2630 V4 10-core processor, and it also included a Machinist X99 motherboard. Unfortunately, because of the RAM crisis, these combos no longer come with DDR4 memory, and the ones that do include DDR4 memory are way too expensive in my opinion. But the one that I purchased was around $43 after some discount codes and after taxes. And I ended up pairing this combo with a 32GB kit of DDR4 memory that I had laying around from a previous video. It was a kit of DDR4 memory that I purchased from AliExpress. It was a 32 MHz kit with a CL timing of 22. When I had bought the kit last year, I was actually upset that the timing was so high. So I didn't end up using it for a build for a long time because I couldn't clock the memory to the 3200 MHz. It would only stay at the default speed of 2133, but since I was creating an ultra budget build, I thought this 32GB kit would be perfect for this build. I ended up pairing this build also with a GTX 1660 Super, as I didn't want a graphics card that would end up bottlenecking the CPU. And I also threw in the cheapest possible 512GB SSD that I could find, which I purchased for around $65 back when I built this computer, but that same SSD is now going for around $85, which is kind of crazy. With the other parts that I used, altogether this PC cost me roughly $400 to build. But if you wanted to do a similar build, I would actually recommend getting a different Xeon and motherboard bundle. It just so happens that the combo that I got ended up having a motherboard that didn't support TPM 2.0. So unfortunately, this computer, even though I was able to install Windows 11 on it, it did not have TPM 2.0 or Secure Boot. So there were some titles that I just was not able to play on this computer. And I'm sure there's a workaround for this for certain games, or it might even be possible to install a TPM module onto the motherboard. But there are other Xeon motherboard combos that you can get on AliExpress that have motherboards that support TPM and Secure Boot. And I would definitely recommend getting those ones, just to save you the trouble of trying to create a workaround to play certain titles. And I will link some of the parts that I used for this build in the description below. And I'll try to keep those links updated, but sometimes it's difficult to, and I know that some of those links stop working, so sorry about that. This PC was also one of the ones that I sold recently, and I did net myself a small profit from selling this PC. After negotiating with someone on Facebook Marketplace, I ended up selling it to them for $500, which I thought was a reasonable price since this PC was limited to certain titles. So I am happy that within the past couple weeks I have been able to sell 2 computers, so that's a good sign, since I wasn't able to sell very much computers at all during the holidays. So things are starting to look up in the PC selling space. As of recording, I still have 4 PCs that I still haven't sold, but hopefully those will get sold soon as they are at really good prices, and I think once they reach the right person, they'll get bought. So another PC that I wanted to talk about recently was one that I built using some of the parts that I had from a previous video. I had that Ryzen 7 3800X and an X570 motherboard that I wanted to use. After purchasing a new PC case and getting some other parts that I had left over, I was able to build a very powerful system using these parts. I ended up pairing the Ryzen 7 3800X with an RX 6800. I had a lot of customers recently asking for a build that had a graphics card with 16GB of VRAM, and after scouring the used market, it was very difficult to find any RTX series graphics card that would have 12GB or 16GB of VRAM that would be a good pairing with this CPU. So I started to do some more research, and I found that the RX 6800 is a very powerful GPU, and it sells for a really reasonable price on the used market right now. The RX 6800 I feel like is a very capable GPU. I feel like this GPU can even play some titles at 4K 60 FPS. So after browsing the used market, I ended up finding an RX 6800 for around $280 on Facebook Marketplace. And after haggling with the guy, I ended up purchasing this graphics card for $260, which I thought was a really good deal. With this build, I included a 32GB kit of DDR4 that was clocked at 3600 MHz with a CL timing of 18. This kit I had from a previous parts haul and I thought would match perfect with this build. And then I also threw in another 512GB SSD. I would have preferred to use a 1TB SSD, but the prices of storage is so high right now that all I can afford is the 500 gig SSDs at the moment, since some of them are going for up to $100 right now. Luckily, I bought this SSD for only $65, but again, as of recording, it went up another $20. And for the power supply for this build, I had a Corsair RM850X that I had from a previous parts haul as well. It's a fully modular power supply, and lucky enough, the person I bought it from included just enough cables for this PC. So after purchasing a digital air cooler for this PC build that I've never used before and then throwing in a cable extension kit, I thought the PC came out looking pretty awesome, and the performance of this PC was great. I think it could definitely handle 4K 60 FPS, but if someone was just using this PC to game at 1440p high settings, I think they would get a great experience out of it. And I think this PC could also be very good for a production PC. I think this CPU and GPU combo could also be good for production work related tasks as well. But after totaling the prices of all the parts that I ended up using, this computer only cost me around $650 to build, which I think is just an amazing price to performance PC. And after looking at the local marketplaces as well as Java, similar PCs with the same specs tend to sell for around $1,000. So I ended up listing this PC for $840, and hopefully it'll sell soon. If not, I'll have to lower the price. But I am very proud of this PC, and I think the Rosewell case that it came in also makes it look really good. I feel like if I didn't have the PC that I have now and I went part hunting and built this computer for myself, I would be more than happy. Well, that pretty much does it for the video. Those are the PCs that I've built recently and the sales I've made. Hopefully I'll have more content for you guys soon. I've been very busy with school and also trying to find a job. So I've been trying to find the time to fit in video editing as well as doing my Twitch streaming, as well as also trying to make time for my girlfriend and all of the people that are important in my life, and also trying to find time to take care of myself as well. I've been trying to focus more on my mental well-being as well as taking care of my physical health, and it does get a little overwhelming since I have so much going on. Trying to work on YouTube videos, find a job, go to school, and then do all of these other things that are important to me. It can get very overwhelming, but also it feels really good when I accomplish all of these things and I'm still able to put out some good content for you guys. And thank you to everybody who's been commenting on my videos and giving me feedback. It has been very helpful. I've been still trying to find a good style for my videos, and I hope this style of my content of me just talking about the things that I got going on with my PC flipping has been enjoyable. I hope to make some more videos soon of me actually building the computers, and maybe in the near future I'll be able to do live streams of me building my computers, so definitely keep an eye out for that. But thank you all again for watching and for joining me on this journey of PC flipping. If you liked the video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to check out some of my PCs, I'll leave links in the descriptions to my Java. But thank you again all for watching, and until next time, this is Fish, and try not to get blown up.